Climate change, it's on everyone's mind, but what does it really mean for where you live? In this video, we're going to introduce you to the adaptER platform so that you can answer that question for yourself. Hi, my name is David Bergvinson. I'm the Chief Science Officer at aWhere, and we're going to introduce you to the adaptER platform. So if you go over to apps.awhere.com, you can register for free by clicking on this icon, Sign Up Now. This will take you to a registration page where you enter your name, your email, the organization you belong to, your role, ideally your phone number, password of your choosing, and once you hit submit, this will send an email to your email for confirmation, and once you've done that, come back to the adaptER platform and then log in. So when you log in, it'll ask you for your email and your password. Once you've entered that information, hit log in, and that will bring you to the adaptER platform where you have access to a wide range of tools and data. In this tutorial, we're going to actually focus on the weather apps. And these are very powerful tools that allow you to drill into 15 years of data around the world to understand how weather is actually changing. And so the landing page here is our weather download app. When you provide a specific location, it'll download the date ranges that you provide. There's an app guide tool that will walk you through actually how to use this tool and the different steps involved by just following these instructions. And so with that, we're going to get started on two tools to get you started in understanding weather where you live. The first one is the climate charts. Now the climate charts basically gives you an overview of the weather for the year. And so what we're going to do is we're going to enter in our key and secret by coming down here, copying our key and secret and entering them in these two first boxes. Then we're going to enter a latitude and longitude. Now, if you do not know the latitude and longitude where you live, you can go to Google Maps, and Google Maps, just go to the search box and enter the location of interest. We're going to be using Kitui, Kenya as an example here. And so when we do that, it takes us to Kitui, and we can just pick a latitude and longitude of a location of interest. Say we have a farm somewhere around here. If you right click, it'll give you the latitude, which is minus 136, and a longitude, which is roughly 37, 38 degrees. And we can use that in our apps tool here. So we're going to enter in minus 1.37 for latitude and 37.99 for longitude. We're going to call this Kitui, Kenya. We're going to choose a date range here that will run all of 2020. So we're going to go back to January 1st of 2020 as a start, and the end will be the end of December. So we have a full year of data to work with. We'll calculate the long-term normal over the last 15 years. That's fine. We're going to include the standard deviation, and it tells us it's going to take 148 of our API calls to run this analysis for Kitui for the year. So we hit submit, and then in about 2 minutes, we'll have our data to have a look at. So now that our data is downloaded, we can scroll up and have a look at the chart to see what it tells us about Kitui. Now, Kitui has two growing seasons or rainfall seasons to support agriculture. During the months of March to June, we call this the long rains, in which the growing season is a little bit longer, obviously. And then October, November, we have what we call the short rains. These tend to be more reliable rains, although lately they've been less reliable. So this helps us understand the rainfall pattern. It helps us understand the temperature, which is up along the top here, red being the long-term normal and black being the temperatures of 2020. And we can see that they haven't changed that much, but the rainfall has indeed changed. And so for our analysis using the climate trend chart, let's focus on November and understand better what's actually happening with rainfall in Kitui. So we'll hit the climate trends chart, And again, we'll have to enter our key and secret, so we can copy those from here and paste them here. Once we do that, we'll enter our latitude and longitude, so it's minus 1.37, and our longitude was 37.99 for our location. It's Kitui, Kenya. And this time we're only going to select the month of November. So we're going to go 1101, -01 and 11-30, only 30 days in November. And we're going to look at all 15 years of data. We're going to call this November short rains. And then we're going to hit submit to pull down the data. And again, it'll take a couple of minutes for that data to download from our server. So now once that data is downloaded, we can scroll up to have a look at different variables of interest. So it starts off with just showing the precipitation, but if we hit the drop down here, we can see that it also provides us the minimum temperature, the maximum temperature, and a ratio called P/PT, or precipitation divided by potential evapotranspiration, which is a very powerful tool to understand when crops are under water stress. So if we start off by looking at precipitation, we can see that over the last 15 years, there's been a trend towards lower rainfall during the month of November. We start off actually in 2006, there was 800 millimeters of rain, so very heavy rainfall. But we see in 2020 that the rainfall was only 100 millimeters. And so this is a real challenge, especially when one is relying on rain-fed agriculture. So we can also have a look at the minimum temperature to see how that has changed. Minimum temperature has been increasing. Generally, this will be the nighttime temperature. And the implication of higher nighttime temperatures is that there could be greater risk of disease, foliar diseases. If we look at the maximum temperature, it's gone down a little bit, but highly variable. You'll also notice in the description at the top here, it gives the location of your study, which is latitude and longitude and the location name. Gives you the mean temperature for that location over the 15 years. It gives you the coefficient of variation, which is very low, standard deviation, and a p-value of this slope to see if that slope is significant, which in this case it is not for the rains. For precipitation, the slope, however, was significant. The p-value was below 0.05, which would be sort of the cutoff for significance. So the rainfall indeed has been significantly lower over the last 15 years. If we look at P/PT, that incorporates a range of weather variables, it's borderline not significant, but biologically it is significant. And so if you're interested in downloading this data, you can either load just the summary data that was used to generate this chart using the seasonal download, and it'll pull up that data, slide that over so you can see for the last 15 years. And you can also download the observed data for the month of November over the entire 15 years. Now this is going to be a much larger data set, and so you can see that here. Basically all of these variables are including the location, the date, the maximum temperature, the minimum temperature, the precipitation for that actual day, and then the ratio of P/PT for that day. And so you can use this information then to do further analysis offline. So that concludes our tutorial. I invite you to participate in a challenge that we're issuing on April the 5th to see how the weather has actually changed where you live, and for you to tell your story of the impact that has had on you. So hit the subscribe button to track this challenge, and we'll post more information on how you can participate in this challenge next week. So stay tuned.